Hi everybody and welcome back. This is another kit review of 911s. You know that I am a freak of 911. If you see the picture of my stash, you see I think about just in that short clip you see about 50 models kit of the 911. And I was preparing a kind of videos, and then I crossed this box and they say why not make videos about this ugly stuff coming from the 80s. This was a Revell Premium. Premium boxes from Revell have usually a very strange story behind, because usually they are coming from other companies, or they are brand new mold made by Revell or influenced by Revell in a very, very heavy way. I remember from the Premium series the BMW 850. I remember the Mercedes 560 SEC, and this one, the Gemballa. Uwe Gemballa was a German tuner from the 80s. The car you see is exactly coming from a Stallone movies. It's something that is neither 90s. This was really how to destroy and to make it heavier, a line coming from the 60s and the 70s, and make it ugly like hell. It is so ugly that it became a gem in the panorama of the 911 kits, because the Avalanche is a real car that they made in the race. It was not a fantasy car, it was really something ugly. I think they made Avalanche 1 and Avalanche 2, so they not convinced that they went on making this kind of ugly stuff back in the days. And basically it was a Porsche 930 Turbo, the basic body, that was a masterpiece made by Porsche. Sorry, and have been ruined in every corner by Uwe Gemballa. The story of Uwe Gemballa or Gemballa factory arrived until I think the Ferrari FX6. That was the last nightmare that they did. I remember back in the day when I used to buy an Italian magazine named Auto, where they used it to translate some articles coming from the magazine, coming from Germany and from the UK, where they showed up all the tuners. I remember the DP tuning, I remember Z-Max, Gemballa, Dower. There was millions of these mysterious preparators and guys making a mess over the bodies of Porsches, making something that was already a little bit old and have to be, in my opinion, the most classical way ever, trying to make it modern, trying to look it modern. So the 80s was the years where the Ferrari Testarossa introduced the side air intakes so specifically, with the radiators in the side, but it was also the age where to make fake radiator, you make fake grill all over the body. Remember the 348 Ferrari that have a completely fake grill in the front. It looks like they have the radiator in front. There is absolutely nothing, it's just plastic. So Gemballa was forcing this stuff over the limit. The sad part is that today I think Gemballa died in an ugly way. There is some histories about that. It's something that if you Google around the history of what happened to Uwe Gemballa, was a German fellow named Uwe, more German than that. And it was about bankruptcy, South Africa, something going on down there. He made a mess, he disappeared, he died, and the company, of course, after is falling apart, disappear basically. But you have to look about Gemballa like something belonging like today Mansory, to have an idea, that kind of shit, making stuff for ultra luxury puppies that want to show up in the most extreme way. And sometimes the limit between being luxury and being rotten is really, really little, if you know what I mean. So inside of this model, I was so curious to see what was inside. I paid big money for this, big money for the trash that it is. I mean, historically, as I say, this is for me, I like racing stuff, so this is really something to say, oh my gosh, should I? Okay, I did. Because a friend sold me for $50, it's a correct price, and it's always quite price model, perché is Italian, perché means why. Why is quite pricey? Because basically inside you have something that can look familiar. If you look at the sprues, look carefully at this kind of sprue, where you already have seen it. Look carefully, a lot of details, a lot of extra detail. Hey, that is also the wheels coming from their 911S. This is Fujimi. This is exactly a Fujimi kit, but Fujimi never did this garbage before. Yes, as I say, the premium series from Revell was something that they do in cooperation with other companies, so surely they make a nice study to do something, Revell, Germany, Gemballa, Germany, everything have to be Germany. Germany of the 80s, guys, we are, I don't know, adult series movies, something like that. Disgusting, But the basic is anyway featuring a Fujimi model. Look, a strange Fujimi model, because that is the hub. That is the hub that you can use in every kind of enthusiast model kit coming from Fujimi. The enthusiast model kit is the serial made by Fujimi with full details. Is really an encyclopedia of the history of Porsche. If you like that type of knowledge, you just buy the enthusiast model. You will find millions of extra detailed parts inside. You see, also this is completely taken from that, of course, because when they go tuning the car, they never change the really dramatic part when you have to change the windshield and the A and B and C pillar on the car. Then it really changes everything, you know. So if you go for tuning, you usually go for the lower part of the body, never on the upper part of the body. But this is exactly Fujimi, you see. This is exactly Fujimi plus some nasty details to make the Avalanche Gemballa, you see, because that is Revell indeed. That is a mold from Revell. So the wheels became that stuff. That should be the BBS LM, I think. Plus. Wow. Already my hair started to be like in the 80s. So I was a kid, but I really well remember it. Basically, what Revell did was instead to modify and make probably their own mold about this object. I don't dare to say it is a Porsche because this is an object. You see that the front end looks like a kind of Maserati Merak. Look like the Merak, yeah, with the small small front lights common to Pantera and Maserati, you know, because back in the day they didn't have the polyellipsoidal lights, so they have to go with ordinary big headlamps. So you need something so 80s, you know, to come up, to pop up. And the doors, you see, they had to completely modify the body of the original turbo 930, because I think basically this was a turbo car, you know, so the performance, they already started exactly like Mansory, taking the best they can find already made by serious company and try to ruin it in the best way ever. I don't know if this car exists still today. I think so, because I think they made a very short series about the Avalanche. I think 1 or 2 models, don't think so much. Also because, you know, the clients to have this stuff already back in the days. I think the 930 turbo was not so cheap car. Then if you go for so huge modification like this, that in Germany probably they will say that you have to die if you make a disaster like that, you know, or more simple, you are just rich, you pay for the beep you want, you can do what you want with this stuff, and you can also destroy 1930, who cares, then you buy another, so it's no problem. But this is it. The wheels are, I don't dare to move them so much. This is a bag that I placed inside the box to try to keep them in a better condition, you know, but it was exactly the same small rims that we can find inside. This look more like a really Revell production, because I remember the Fujimi was slightly nicer than this one, probably mostly because I have the reissues from Fujimi, so I don't have the original real. No, I think I have 2 or 3 boxes from the original mold from the first series of the enthusiast model. So, and then all the road plates, I don't know if they are real or fakes, you know. There is the final appeal of the model. You see also the look, the side mirror. God. This is probably a kind of camera, because Gemballa was famous to have a camera and electronic device of the 80s. So you have the electronic device coming from the 80s inside the car. So it was, Jesus Christ. Think at the camera of the 80s, you know. It's big like a window, it's big like a television, you know, a cathodical television. So, it's disgusting. And that's it. You see the Avalanche in white and in black. I don't know how reliable they are these days still, but usually Revell used to make very good quality. They also place a road Roma, completely fake road plate. I don't know. I know that usually the Italian ones are completely fantasy, so, but if you really want to go for a building up of the Avalanche, just take the real one. I think the real one is in red. I seen one in red and one in white. I don't know if it was Avalanche 1 or 2, but they are the same. I don't have to say bad word. I don't want YouTube to close my video because, but you understand which is my feeling about this stuff, you know. I wanted to have it because it's so special, 911, and I also think that it is a quite valuable model today, you know, if you can survive to this type of stuff, you know. So you really have to like To like 911 basically, and to like also what they did back in the days with this type of cars, you know, there is plenty of parts. You see, look how many parts the Fujimi used to provide. The instructions are also they coming from the night. I don't know if they place a date on the box about when they made it up, this model. There is a lot. You see, roof, turbo compressor, claimed off at top speed of 290 km per hour on a car that is not a racer like this. You really want to game with fire and to try to risk your life. You know, look, wow. The car is from the 80s, the model is from 1988. This is a gem. I think honestly, guys, I will never go for a serious build of this stuff. I will just keep it like it is, a gem from the 80s. I was a kid when this stuff was around, you know. I think I look in some very blonde ladies, you know, with very high heels, stretching over the roof of this whatever object, you know, and thinking that maybe Stallone can use in one of his next movies, you know. So that's it. If you love stuff from the 80s, if you are a boomer like I am, go for it, and don't buy this stuff, guys. Don't buy this stuff. My 2 cents. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next.